All right, I'm gonna do a chapter review for Black Clover, chapter 357, titled "The Final Slash." Basically, a tribute chapter to Jack, in case no one doesn't know what's happened in this chapter. But we start off right where we left off in the previous chapter with Strike with the Spirit of Zephyr striking down Lucius. So he was able to cut off the horn, but Lucius immediately stopped the blade from going any further with his left hand. Uh, we see that Lucius. I guess we can see like a little bit of like shaking. He's holding the blade up from it to be from it to go down any lower. But either way, like Lucius like face is just unfazed because he says absorbing Lucifero made me physically tough as well. Your attacks won't reach me that easily. So I don't know if Lucifero like personal trait, which is being physically tough, because we already knew Lucifero. He was the king of all devils, so he had like the most magic. But I didn't know he was like also physically tough. But that's interesting. Like we already knew that Lucifero or Lucius had magic because he ate Lucifero. I just didn't know he was also physically tough because of Lucifero magical trait. And then Lucius also pointed out that the spell that is using Neverland is a enormous spell, and that he imagined that he won't even last that long because of it. Because we do see had used a spell over a whole Clover kingdom, so we can only imagine how long he can keep it up, since it is a high tier spell. Especially using it on that scale, probably won't last, for a long time. Not for the whole duration of this fight. Maybe if I don't know, maybe if get an upper hand, maybe he'll turn it off. But we'll have to find out and see. But I do like to see that we are getting, shots of the other Magic Knights doing their thing. Some from the I'm assuming the Crimson Lions, Silver Eagles. So that's a pretty cool panel. And then we see Lucius telling in the end, your struggle is pointless. You'll only prolong the suffering. And then that's pretty much it for this chapter of any dialogue between Lucius and you know, because then we head over back to Jack and Yami versus Morgan, and we see Jack lying because he was heavily injured. We see Yami covering for him, and we dive a bit into Jack's mind of Jack saying, "Damn it, am I gonna die here?" And we get a bit of Jack's past where he was first off meeting with Yami and starting a fight with him, and we see Yami almost hit Jack with a dark magic strike, and then Yami saying, "What the hell was that for? Wake up, loser. We both look like bad guys, but I'm on your side, scrawny dude." And then Jack admits to himself that that attack almost took out his left eye. So that was cool, to see Jack and Yami in the past, how they were like, and how they met each other through the I guess through this little like squad meeting, because it seemed like because they're in different squads. I don't know what squad Jack was in, but we see like other Magic Knights from other factions kind of meeting up in this little like plaza. I'm not sure where it's located at, cause I don't know, like maybe it's in the capital, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure where exactly they met up at. But either way, Yami was just waiting for Morgan to come back from a mission, because Morgan come back saying that the mission is complete and that they should return to the headquarters. Morgan tried to nag Yami, saying that he really should try to get along with other brigades. Yami saying that he wasn't the one that started the fight. It was Jack. And then, Morgan and Yami start leaving off. Also, cool to note in the panel of where Yami and Morgan was talking, it's the same panel that Jack remembered when he first saw Knock and he mistaken him for Morgan. So that was a cool little tidbit. But as they were leaving, we had a couple of Magic Knight randos kind of dropping some lore, saying that that's the Great Air Brigade's light and dark duo. they're the best of our generation, which is that's a crazy thing to say that they're the best of their generation. And then they continue saying, light is the strongest attribute in history, while dark's a total enigma. I don't know, I kind of like that quote. Like, even though it came from a random person, that was a pretty fire quote. Saying that light is the strongest attribute in history, while dark's a total enigma. Anyway, he keeps saying both are types insubstantial and can't be caught. Talk about mystical magic. So basically they was basically just like hyping up their magic because their magic is so special. Jack with his basic slash magic, saying ha I like it. Someday I'm gonna slash them both. Uh, Heric, heretical dark and sublime light. That's also a cool quote too. Heretical dark and sublime light. And so because of that, Jack was kind of like aiming to like fight them because they have crazy magic. And so then Jack gets up by himself, saying, "Move it, Yami. I don't want you protecting me." And then we see not I got it mixed up. Morgan preparing an attack, saying, "I'll use my light to see into heaven," which is also that's another crazy quote to say. Saying, "I'm gonna use my light to see into heaven." Like I don't know that's just crazy to say. Like Morgan kind of saying it in a very like nice like tone and like visage, but like it's kind of ill intent because he's killing someone. But either way, Jack gets up and then Jack starts monologuing to himself, saying, "Up until now, I've and slashed like crazy and honed my skills." And then we see Jack's blade kind of like pulsating, and then we see Jack final quote to himself saying, "Now I'll slash everything apart with one last attack." And we see Jack getting prepared to counteract Morgan's attack with his light beam. And as the light beam rains down on Yami and Jack with imminent speed, Jack's prepared his counterattack, and we see Morgan kind of get surprised and caught off guard by by how potent the attack was. Because we see in the next panel, we see a huge slash that goes all the way across the Clover Kingdom, even through Yuno's Neverland. And like it's a really great scale of an attack. Cause like we can see comparison of just like the Clover capital compared to the slash, and then all the way down. It's a really cool panel. And then we get another panel of the aftermath of how the cut kind of divided the land a little bit, left a great cavern, which is a really cool feat. Cause like everything like because it seemed like like everything looks small in comparison to the cut. We see Jack also took out a couple of angels too. We see the Magic Knights in awe of Jack's performance, even Charlotte and William. And then after that, Jack collapsed to the ground, telling Yami, "How was it? What do you think of my final slash?" And Yami says, "I hate to admit it, but that was really something, Jack." And then Jack says, "I just got one regret that I never got to cut you up." And those were Jack's final words to Yami as he falls to the ground with his last breath. And that was unfortunately kind of sad for me because like I kind of had a feeling Jack was gonna die, but like Jack is kind of like a semi-important character. Like people do like him. Jack does have fans. It's just crazy how Jack was the first to go, and it's not like something like people didn't know. Like people kind of predicted like if anyone would have to go, it would be Jack. And then people also got cut off guard how Jack was the first one to get hit with an attack during the fight. But I kind of like this is how Jack went out. Jack always want to go out, for bang, and I think this was the best way to demonstrate it. Also, this might be just me, but I kind of felt like that Jack last slash kind of felt like it was a Zeton, Like not like that he knew how to use that thing, but like he kind of like used something that was kind of like the same concept. How like he focused all of his his life force and his magic into one single blade in his right arm or right forearm. That's how I felt. But I really did like Jack's character, just based on the fact that Jack, he wasn't really special. Like he wasn't like Yami. He didn't have a crazy arcane magic. He wasn't like Morgan, where he had light magic. He wasn't like William, where he was a royal world tree magic. He wasn't like Charlotte, Fregoleon. He wasn't like any of the others. He was a commoner that built himself up from the ground with his blade magic. Because we all knew Jack's upbringing, from his father, where his father literally tried to raise him saying to only hunt things that you can take, basically things smaller than yourself. And we see Jack went against it by defeating the bear in the forest that took down his father. So we see, Jack, multiple times challenges himself against stronger enemies. When he fought against what we call Latry, who was elf possessing language. So I'm going against Dante, surpassing his limits, and now going against Morgan, who was a paladin. And just a side note, in the next page, Morgan actually said that if that hit would have landed, he would have finished him off. So that's a crazy feat. But like I said, I like Jack the most because out of all the captains, Jack is the only captain that really has like the most basic magic, but he is like the one that really puts effort into it. Cause in Jack's eyes, Jack's is like in Jack's eyes, he sees things as it would be funny for someone like me with the most basic magic to tear down all the crazy guys with the most insane magic. So I like that concept just because Jack doesn't need anything special other than just his blades, and that's what I like the most about Jack. Jack isn't uh a royal or someone with arcane magic. He's just a commoner with slash magic that he honed and trained in order to cut anything in his path. So that's that's my favorite thing about Jack. But let me move on. After that, like I said in the next page, Morgan said that had landed, they would have finished him off. And then Yami finally getting his resolve after sending his friend off, Jack, to his to the afterlife. Yami then says, "You sure ain't the Morgan that I knew." And then Morgan responds saying, "It pains me, but many more people are about to die. But don't worry, you will all be reborn and be happy together." In the last page, we see Mariana going for a punch, and then we see her arm getting dissolved by Morris' magic hands. So in the last page, we see Morris taking on Mariana. And I just gotta say, like Morris ain't a pushover. Like, I understand people making fun of Morris because he was an L villain. Um, I think he was an L villain in terms of how he went out, but like overall, I think he was a really good villain. I mean, he played a vital part in the Spade Clover Kingdom with the Demon Ritual. It's just that he got washed up so fast in a fight because he went against the Black Bulls. And everyone knows the Black Bulls as a whole together is pretty hacked. Like he went up against Lotus, which it really isn't a great feat, but he did win up against Dorothy, and Dorothy couldn't do nothing. So that'll tell you something. Like Morris with the double power was able to defeat Dorothy, but it's just up against the Black Bulls, he had to go against Vanessa, Gulch, Gray, Gordon, Henry, Asa, Magna, Luck, Noel, the whole Black Bulls. So his chance of winning was very slim. But up against Meliona, whose magic is only just firepower. But she does have a couple tricks up her sleeve, like that one spell she used against the demon. But it seemed like Meliona is just kind of in her base form, and she tried to land an attack, but it took off her hand. I've been seeing things about theories about people saying that because the last fight she had with Lucius, how she was so close to Mana that she almost became Mana herself. People was wondering if she could just manifest the arm back because she can go into that stage where she can become Mana itself. I feel like that'd be crazy. Like that'd be a cool feat just for Meliona, because we all know only Meliona is the only type of crazy person to pull just a feat. But we'll have to wait next chapter. But I like this chapter a lot. I kind of like it. It was kind of like a tribute to Jack, so that's one up for me. Um, I will give it a 10 out of 10. Only just the fact that it was kind of short, couple of pages short. I wish we had a couple more pages. I guess on I don't know, maybe more about Jack. I mean, we kind of knew about Jack, but I don't know, maybe more about Jack, like maybe Jack's philosophy, how he felt about things. But we already kind of knew about that, so I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna play it. There wasn't enough pages, but I don't know. Overall, I'll let this chapter. I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. But yeah, that's basically it.